Mauritius is finally easing COVID-19 travel restrictions it imposed 6 months ago. The government hopes the move will help revive the tourism sector. The industry has been badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic and the oil leak from a Japanese ship in July that caused an environmental disaster along the coastline.
Coral reefs are known as rainforests of the ocean because of their biodiversity. They also support 25% of all marine species. The island nation of Mauritius is almost entirely encircled by coral reefs, enabling turquoise lagoons, abundant marine life, white sandy beaches, and vibrant coastal communities, all of which contribute to making Mauritius a perfect tourist destination. But climate change and human activities caused a steady decline of the reefs, and this was magnified by the Wakashio oil leak disaster.
Mauritius is an island. We can see that the reefs are critical to give us our nice beaches, which all the tourists have to enjoy, but also the Mauritian population. Those lagoons give us the food that all the fishermen put on our plates. All those coral reefs play a role also because they break down the energy of the waves coming from the ocean. They protect us against the disastrous impacts of cyclones. So in fact, they are our protectors.
In addition to climate change challenges, Mauritius also faces the additional threat of rapid development.
Since the last 30 years, we could really see that all these wastewater oozing in the lagoon, the agricultural activity is very intensive. You've also seen a lot of nautical activities which have increased in the lagoon. And I think that those combination of factors linked to the development of Mauritius have had a serious impact on the coral reefs.
Conservationists believe if we do nothing, we'll lose everything. Their solution for reef restoration is coral farming.
This is the site here itself where I started with coral farming in 2009. Coral farming for me is picking those corals that was about to die. For example, they have been crushed by anchors, they have been damaged by waves, cyclones. We pick those corals, place it into a nursery where we clean them, propagate them. After some time, we place it to the transplantation site, for example, where it is degraded. We will transplant those corals to that site.
What took Mother Nature thousands of years to grow and scientists years to regenerate was destroyed in a matter of days when the cargo ship Wakashio ran aground onto the coral reefs of Mauritius.
When the Wakashio went aground, it moved north and south, breaking mechanically the coral reefs and producing fine particles, which we call high turbidity, which affect the life of the corals. Then, of course, when the oil started to spill, the toxicity of the oil also played a role and affected the live corals. And now that this oil has gone into the sediments, into the sand, and into the food chain, so we are talking about different types of impacts, but certainly long-term impacts for the Wakashio.
The rate of reef degradation, unfortunately, cannot keep up with the current rate of coral farming.
We are trying to create the sea culture. We are also trying to bring people together, and I would call that train them as coral farmers to come with us and plant corals. If you don't know what is underwater, how can you save underwater? And this tend to create into them, yes, I need to go and learn swimming, I need to go and learn diving. Once you see the beauty underwater, you will protect it.
I have been teaching diving in Mauritius since 20 years. The coral reef is like the tree underwater because when you go in the forest, you expect to see tree. But if you go in an Amazon forest, you do not see any tree, that means you do not see anything. Luckily, for us in the North Port of the island, we have not been affected by the Wakashio. But since the coronavirus, this has been impact our business directly. Soon the border will open, we'll welcome all international divers.
It's been estimated that only 32 out of 320 kilometers of coastline has been impacted by the Wakashio. And those in the tourism industry are eager to tell the world Mauritius is for now COVID-free and ready to welcome visitors. More than 500 million people around the world depend on the coral reefs for food, jobs, recreation, and storm protection. As for Mauritius, 500 meters of protected coral reef was directly destroyed by the Wakashio, and the full extent of the damages is much bigger. With the world's eyes on this island paradise, perhaps the disaster will bring about the necessary changes to protect the coral reefs here. Feifei, CGTN, Turtle Bay, Mauritius.